Justin went to pick up Cherry from school, finally acknowledging her as his daughter in front of everyone, including that awful Whitney. It was a shock, to say the least. I had to pick up Pete, who was left waiting at Chester's, and he was clearly feeling abandoned. While driving him home, he asked me a question that's been haunting me. What happens when Justin truly realizes who Cherry is? I dropped Pete off at the Hunt mansion and watched him wave goodbye, my heart heavy. Then I drove off, trying to piece everything together. Justin taking Cherry home, the look in his eyes. It was a mix of something I couldn't quite decipher. Was it fury? Disgust? Or was there a flicker of something else? Something that made my stomach churn with a mix of dread and a feeling I couldn't quite name. Then there's Lawrence, Justin's right-hand man. I know he's been digging into my past. Justin got a phone call from him right as I drove away. He said, "I found some more information about Missy."
Smith, what does Lawrence know? What secrets has he uncovered? And most importantly, how will Justin use them against me? How will this affect my children? I'm terrified. What happens now? How do I protect them from the fallout of my past and whatever Lawrence has found? I need to find out what Lawrence knows, and I need to do it before Justin makes his next move. What will happen when Justin learns the full truth? Lawrence obediently handed the report to Justin. According to the information we were able to uncover, Miss Smith's family didn't know how she became pregnant. They insisted they had no idea who her lover was. Our sources say that no one believed them, and everyone thought they were merely making up an excuse to cover up her indiscretion. An inexplicable pregnancy. Justin thought back to the conversation he had had with Nora. She had asked him if Pete was conceived naturally and how he came to be with Justin. He had replied that he didn't know and fully expected that she wouldn't believe him, but to his surprise, she didn't need any convincing. She believed him. He had thought that it was because she was so in love with him that she believed everything he had said. He never expected the truth to be so different. Justin lowered his gaze. "Anything else?" Lawrence shook his head. "Investigate all the possible reasons why she could have given birth to twins," Justin instructed. Lawrence was astonished. "Twins?" His brows drew together, and he said, "We haven't found anything to indicate that she had twins. There isn't any information about how she spent those years abroad." Justin waved him off while saying, "Continue with the investigation." "Yes, sir," Lawrence replied as he left the room. After Lawrence left, Justin was so mad that he almost threw his cell phone against the wall. But then his phone rang. I had called him. Justin picked up. I said, "Mr. Hunt, I apologize for being intrusive, but why do you hate your son's mother so much?" The look in Justin's eyes turned solemn when he heard my voice. He replied, "It would be better to talk about things like this face to face. I agreed that some topics should be discussed in person." I said, "Okay. What time do you want to meet and where?" Justin replied, "When are you free? Any time is fine." I said. He continued, "What about tomorrow morning?" I declined that offer. "No, I have to sleep." Justin tried again. "What about noon then?" Taking a brief pause, I replied, "Let's meet tomorrow afternoon at 3. I'll send the location to you." "Let's meet at Club Prism. It's close for both of us," Justin suggested. I hung up saying, "Okay, no problem." Justin sat at his desk after the call. Realizing that he had a daughter filled him with joy, yet there was another, more complicated emotion that almost drowned out his elation: anger. He was furious at being deceived. He was beginning to understand that Nora wasn't trying to get close to him because she liked him. It was all because of his son. This discovery had left him feeling disappointed. So far it seemed like he was the one who saw their relationship through rose-colored glasses. Her interest was calculated. He felt a mixture of joy and sorrow at the thought. But maybe it would have been better for all of them if he hadn't discovered the truth. He had pretended not to know who his daughter was. He made sure to instruct Lawrence to investigate the matter where his son could see and hear him, just to keep up the pretense. It was part of his strategy to confuse everyone and make them think that he had no idea what was going on. He thought back to his interactions with Nora over the last few weeks. On one of their dates, she had said that the father of her child was an idiot. When he listened to her describing the man, Justin had intensely disliked him. For an irrational moment, he was jealous of the so-called idiot. But it turned out that he was the idiot. He knew that his daughter was a student at the Golden Sunshine School because Nora had used his name to enroll her daughter in the school. That's not the kind of thing that goes unnoticed. When he saw his daughter getting bullied, he had moved quickly to back her up, and his heart had softened again. Justin looked down. His fingers tapped lightly on the desk as he tried to think of a solution that would benefit them all. It was clear that the three of them didn't want him to know the truth. They must have come up with a plan to deceive him together. It was likely because they were afraid that he would separate them for good. If that's what they were worried about, he'd keep up the pretense for now. Didn't that teacher bully his daughter? As retribution, he would bankrupt the Lows immediately. After the call with Justin, a bitter taste filled my mouth. He thought I was playing him, using him to get close to Pete. He saw calculations where there were only desperate attempts to protect my children. He saw a scheme, not a mother's fierce love. But what could I say to him? How could I explain the inexplicable, the impossible? How could I tell him about the lab, the experiments, the twisted science that brought my twins into the world? He wouldn't believe me. No one would. Tomorrow at 3, I would walk into Club Prism. I would face the man who held the power to shatter my world. I would look into his eyes and try to unravel the tangled web of secrets that bound us. But even as I planned my words, a chilling thought echoed in my mind. What if he already knew? What if his investigation was just a game, a way to trap me? And more importantly, what will he do when he discovers the truth about Pete's origins?